Hello, I haven't done these in like I haven't done like a trading video in a while, so find me a little rusty, but I just wanted to kind of journal like what what I'm seeing from what I developed from the strategy I've been learning. So what we're looking at is basically a supply and demand trader. I'm using supply and demand and support and resistance, and I'm using EMA, but mostly the 50, and I'm using a little bit of money averages. Or let me see here. I want to correct myself really quick. Let me find out what is this. Yeah, this one up here is just a money average. Just basically what's the average of what's the money for each chart. So if I go on the day chart and I'm trying to identify what's the bias. Here, let me see if it shows up. It doesn't. It doesn't want to show up now. It's glitched up here for some reason. Okay, I fix it real quick. Okay, I see why it didn't show up because it was way down here. But no, this is I use this too to identify what's the trend. So today's bias is that we're in a downtrend because of this. Not because of this. This is just one bias. Just to correct myself, one bias doesn't equals to the day's objective, you know. So having more than three bias builds your odds way more than just having one confluence. It's good to have three confluences when it comes to finding entries or per trade. But we see here price is tapping at this low. There's this high basically. So I'm seeing price wanting to sweep and break down to continue going to the downtrend. Because you see from previous market weeks, we just been a dump. So I guess we're just gonna eventually now start making new lows so we can have new highs. But let's go back to our objective. I just used this thing up here to just identify trend. So let's go to the 1 hour. Let's go to the 1 hour real quick. Let me fix this. Let me find the stick. There we go. So now we're getting told differently on the 1 hour. Right now, it's looking like it's bullish. And oh wow, look. This is what I wanted the journal. Exactly, this is what I wanted the journal. This is the setup that we should have taken today. That would have been green. Green, because why? Now you're asking me why? Why are you telling yourself that this was buy? This was the entry. I knew we were in a downtrend, and to continue pushing lower, well, I have to eventually do a pullback and just boost. So it's like price is just a ping pong, basically. It's gonna make new highs, new lows, new highs, new lows, new highs, and new lows, and basically, etc. And then we're gonna have days that's just gonna go sideways, new highs, new lows, go sideways. But that's when we identify, where it's gonna hit. But this area is this is where we find our our bias of how. But now we're gonna delete all that. But now you're asking me, how did you identify this? Okay, now we gotta look way before this candle ever existed. Okay, before this candle ever existed, we need to see that we have built a little zone. Sort of, it's like a support and resistance zone. So now we can draw our liquidities. Basically, I seen that price was going sideways. So I looked previous and I seen there's this low. So I said, okay, I gotta mark it out and have price, supporting it. That's why it's called support. That's why now we look on the other side, we see price resisting off of here or even up here. Like if I wanted, it could have been like here, but we could just have it like there. But you see how price went up, dumped, entered off the sweep, order block was made. Not order block, but a demand zone. We tapped into it, supported. That would have been our entry, just to boost. But I just want to record this, one of many to be uploaded. I'm gonna get better with my trading, like how I talk and stuff. But with more time, I will learn how to explain myself better. But I wanted to make this like short. So this is a short little video I wanted to make with y'all. And this is gonna be like unedited too, so I'm just gonna upload it, free ball it. So, okay, boys, I'll talk to you later. Bye bye.